Something about you, it's like an addiction. Hit me with your best shot, honey.
I was really bored one night, and me and a friend were hanging out, and I decided to leave my number on a guy's table. I was going to do it myself, so I made her do it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you knew that part.
No.
Yeah, so I made her, that's how it got in the wrong hands. So I made her do it, and I guess she just put it on the table where all these guys were instead of giving it to a specific guy. And it was passed around, and some guy put it on Snapchat where Gavin saw it, because apparently they're mutual friends or something.
No, we were friends from high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
And decided to take a shot and use it. And he texted me saying that his friend had a girlfriend, and anyway, his friend had a girlfriend, and that just out of respect, like he was just letting me know that nothing was gonna happen or whatever. And I was just like, no, I was just goofing around, like I didn't mean anything by it. I assumed as much, like it's cool. So kind of sparked up a conversation. And we talked for a little while, for like a week or so. He wanted to see what I looked like, so he asked
Okay, you're forgetting a lot, and you're messing it up.
Well,
okay.
Part
So, yeah, my friend posted it on his Snapchat that he got this girl's number. And so I was curious about it, and I decided to text the number and see who it was. But because it was my friend, I didn't want us both to be talking to the same girl. So I told you that my name was Marshall. That way, if he found out that you were talking to somebody else because of Snapchat, he wouldn't know it was me.
I was like, okay, this is my full name, like this is what it's under on Facebook. And so then he went look it up, and then I didn't hear from him. He didn't text me back. So like a day later, I texted him and I was like, so you just went look at my profile, and you were like, yeah, nah, never mind. And invited me to a friend's Thanksgiving party. And I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that. I hadn't met him. I didn't know if anybody I knew would be there. I thought he told me to meet him there by like 8. And I'd go and see a friend to kind of tell her about the whole situation and stuff, because I was getting nervous. And we had started talking, and it just continued on until like 8:45, 9, and then he texted me and he was like...
No, you texted me when you got there.
No, I wasn't there yet. You had texted me and you said, so are you still coming?
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, I'm just running a little bit late. Really, I was just hanging out with Marissa. And then, so I left and looked at the address and went to the house or whatever. The neighborhood, all the houses are really close together. I had no idea, it was dark, like I had no idea where I was. And there was cars everywhere, so I really didn't know what house it was. So I called him, he didn't answer his phone. I texted him, he didn't answer.
Several times.
So I called my sister and I'm like telling her what's going on. I was like, should I just leave? I feel like I should just leave. And she's killing herself laughing, and she's like, no, you don't want to be that girl, you don't want to stand him up and all this stuff. But the whole time I'm thinking, he's standing me up, he's not answering his phone, he's not telling me where he is. So anyway, eventually she talks me into getting out of my car and just kind of like walking down the street, see if I can figure out where these people are. Anyway, so I walked up to a house, and there was a garage door crack, and so like I heard some people inside, and I just decided that I guess that was the house that he was in. So went up to the front door, knocked on it. Some random guy answered the door. I knew what he looked like because I'd seen his profile pictures and stuff, so I knew that wasn't him. So I asked, I was like, is there a guy named Marshall here? And the guy looks at me crazy, and he's just like, nah, I don't think so. So we're just kind of staring at each other. So he's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. You can come inside. It's fine. So I walk inside, and it's just a room full of guys.
You said, well, is Sarah here?
No, not that part yet. You want to tell us that?
No, apparently I don't know it.
So walk in the middle of the living room. There's like a bunch of guys just hanging out, and the guy just announces, hey, guys, does anybody know a Marshall? And they're like, no. So at this point, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, okay, this is creepy, and I don't know what's gonna happen. So then I was like, okay, well, do y'all know a Sarah? And then they were like, oh yeah, she's back here. So they brought me to meet her. She was in the garage with everybody
I
else.
wonder what they were thinking.
Open the door, and there's Marshall standing there.
Here's Marshall.
I walk in, Sarah gives me a hug and everything. She introduces us, and Gavin sticks out his hand. He's like, hey, I'm Gavin. And I'm thinking, what? I shook his hand. At this point, I'm pissed. Like, I'm mad and a little bit humiliated. So they're all playing games and stuff. I'll sit down, and he's like, so, like, you want to play? And I'm like, no. No. So, we kind of continued on. Sarah's talking to me and everything, but he is not.
I was
at
terrified.
all. Not saying a one word. After a little bit, everybody decides to go back inside, so we all go back inside. I sit next to him. He turns completely around, starts talking to his friend. Like,
Very intimidating.
nothing's going on. So, after a little bit, I was talking to my friend Sarah, and I was like, you know, I think I'm just gonna go. Like, this is just awkward and weird. He's not saying anything, and she just kept saying, no, I promise, he's just shy. Like, just give him a chance. All this stuff, and I was like, I don't know. She was like, just wait. Like, we're gonna go back to our house, and it's gonna be quiet. There's gonna be less people. He's gonna loosen up. It's gonna be fine. So I agreed to go. We left. We get back to their house. It's just us. Dude's still not talking.
Got worse, I think.
We're in the kitchen baking cookies and chatting and making jokes, and he's literally like sitting in the corner of the kitchen staring, and every now and then laughing, but not saying a word. So I end up in the living
I
room.
figured eventually you'd just talk to me.
No, I was just mad. That's it. I was just mad. So I get in the living room. His friend comes in, offers to like hang out. I'm just like, no, I'm good. And then I guess he and his friend are in the kitchen talking, and his friend's like, dude, you've got to go talk to her. You've got to do something. You're blowing it.
At that point, I felt bad though because you went sit in the living room all by yourself.
Yeah, I was pissed.
You were on the couch with nobody else around, and I was like, okay, it's time to go talk to this chick.
So he comes into the living room, sits across from me, and we're just like staring at each other. I'm probably glaring. And then he's like, so, and I was like, you make a terrible first impression. Like a terrible first impression.
Yeah, but you weren't laughing when you said that.
No, I didn't, but you did.
Yeah.
So that kind of broke the ice, and everything was cool. We started talking, hanging out, and that was the first night that we hung out. So like, after that, it was fine. Like,
It was fun.
the ice thawed a little, and we were like, you know, it was whatever, made jokes about it. However, I didn't learn that people actually didn't call him Marshall until the night he asked me to be his girlfriend, and then kind of explained everything to me.
The first night is when I knew that I was gonna marry this girl.
No,
Yeah,
not
I'm
the first
telling you,
night.
yes.
The first date. Like,
No.
date.
The night when you told me I made a bad first impression. Because you stayed for a while, and it was like, even you telling me that wasn't awkward or insulting or anything like that. Like, it just, I don't know. I feel like my best friend was just telling me something that I needed to hear. Like, the whole thing was just natural. And I think every date, every date after that was just confirmation. Us hanging out was just more confirmation.
I think the best part was, like, it was so casual. Like, after we hung out that first night, went home, and you were like, so do you want to hang out again? Like, just casually, whatever. And then I remember I went to drop a friend off at the airport and went hang out with you again, like, 2 days later. And it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. And we spent all day together, and you were like, you asked me on our first official date.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then you said you didn't have anything to wear.
Well,
So we went buy you some jeans.
oh, that's when you fell in love with me, because you saw my butt. You just with me because my
Agreed.
butt.
And then went back, and then I went get ready. And then it was just funny because, like, we had hung out, and as long as it was just us, like, we were fine. Like, it wasn't awkward.
Yeah.
There was no, like, nerves. There was no, like, nothing. It was
Yeah.
just, like, we were just best friends hanging out. this was like our date. This was the first official date.
Yeah.
And
Took her to Ramachovi's.
yeah.
Classy.
And like,
I was terrified again
but you were talking 90 to nothing.
because I was terrified. I didn't want there to be any awkward silence.
Yeah, but then you were making me nervous because like I showed up and I'm thinking, oh yeah, we're just gonna hang out again, and then you were like,
It was so much different. There was pressure. The engagement was fun. My favorite part. Because that was a long process. Buying the ring, planning the proposal was so difficult because I didn't have any idea what I wanted to do, where I wanted to do it, and I had a million different ideas, and it was a mess. And I think I had...
And you were trying to be secretive because we talked about it all the time.
Well, I was secretive. I didn't have a clue.
Yeah, but you made it sound like I did.
I mean,
'Cause,
I
like-
let you know that the possibility was there, but you didn't know that it was coming.
No, I didn't.
Because we talked about marriage all the time and like our future and what we wanted and things like that, but you had no idea I was about to propose.
Yeah.
And so we were planning a trip to California, and we'd always talked about adventure and going places and traveling the world and seeing new things and culture. And so all of my other proposal ideas just didn't seem to fit. None of them really had any special meaning or anything significant. So I thought that, our first trip together, the start of an adventure, would be the perfect place to start our adventure. And so I asked all my friends if they were okay with it and if they would photograph everything, take pictures, and it took me probably a couple months to decide on a ring after asking your family on opinions and shopping around the lot. And then I finally bought the ring, and we flew to California, went hiking in Yosemite, and I think it was like our second to last day there.
Yeah.
We were on our way up to a trail, and I was going to propose at the top of it, but there was all kind of snow and we couldn't. And so my buddy turned around and he was like, "You want to just do it here?" I was like, yeah, do it now. And I got so nervous, and it was weird because it felt like I was waiting for it for a very long time. And I had this whole thing planned out of what I wanted to say. Like I had this little speech, but I took the ring out of my pocket and all I could say was, "Do you want to marry me?"
So what were you gonna say?
I don't remember.
Aw, come on.
No, I don't. It was just, I don't know, just cute stuff that you would have liked a lot.
No, okay.
But all I could say was that I've been waiting a while, and it felt like it was forever.
I remember you said that.
Yeah.
Baby, I've been waiting forever to ask you this, and it was like 4 months.
Yeah.
We got married on March 25th, 2017. Right after we got engaged, like we immediately started talking about dates, and he was like wanting to push for November, and like he was like, we can make it happen. I was like, you realize that that's no time at all, like no time. So I don't know, we kind of played with the idea a little bit. I wanted a winter wedding. I mean, it's Louisiana, so it's not really a winter wedding, but the idea of it and everything sparkly and white. So I was cool with the idea. I didn't think the timeline would work out too well, just for a lot of reasons. And then we kept talking about it. I don't know how we ended up on March, but we got engaged on April 1st. So like the 25th was literally almost a year of us being engaged. Like,
Yeah.
almost like
I saw you turn the corner, and I saw you in your dress for the first time. It was a lot of emotions, because it was big anticipation, big build-up, and I had accidentally seen a couple pictures, but it was nothing compared to seeing you in person. I remember having any thoughts. It was just emotions, and there was just a lot of feelings, and there was just relief that it was finally here, that I was finally marrying the person that I was supposed to be with, and it was making my life so much better. It was just a lot of excitement, and I was just ready for it.
the whole day, like, okay, friends and family can vouch for this, like the whole week before, I was a nervous wreck. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, like it was bad. And the day of, like I just achieved this sense of calm, like I was everybody else was freaking out, and I was just like, it's fine, guys, it's fine. Like, I don't know where it came from. I don't know, like, it was just crazy. But I was so calm, like, I wasn't nervous throughout the whole day, getting my hair done, getting my makeup done. We were all hanging out. I wasn't emotional. Like, I was just excited and just so ready for it. And I got emotional when my makeup got finished, because that was a rough thing for me. And I was just like, after that, like, then the tears started flowing, and I started getting super emotional about everything. And I just wanted to see you and talk to you so bad. And I remember you called Ann to say that you were here and you didn't want to see me, so, like, where were we and all this stuff. And I could hear you talking to Ann on the phone, and I was like, oh my God, I just want to hold this hand. Like, I just got so excited, and just, like, I just needed to be close to you. First look or whatever, but, like, the kind of preview thing that we did where we just wanted to hold hands around the corner for a little bit,
that was hard.
that was emotional, because I just wanted to grab you so bad. But so then that made me emotional and everything. But when I saw you standing at the end of the aisle, it was a huge sense of just peace. Like, I was anxious because I wanted to be near you and just touch you and kiss you and hold your hand and everything, but it was just like enormous. I've never been so peaceful in my entire life about anything. Before we even
I want this one.
Hey! No, I need to explain the beginning. Before we even got engaged, we both had this, like, before we even met each other, we had this huge plan about what we wanted to do with our lives.
I was supposed to move to Colorado like 10 times.
Yeah, and
I always fell through.
I was in the process of planning moving to New York. I was going to New York. Nothing was going to stop me. Like, I was literally planning to go there, work 10 jobs, and be by myself. Like, that was just my plan.
Oh, get
And, but anyway, when I met Gavin, that was my plan. Like, that's what I was working towards. Like, nothing was going to stop me. Watch yourself. And Gavin was doing the same thing, except he was heading to Colorado, and he wanted to live in the mountains and live off the land and have a dog and not talk to people and just all this stuff. And then we met and immediately knew that we were going to spend the rest of our lives together, and started talking about getting married and all this stuff, and it was all, like, so exciting. And then he proposed, and that was exciting. And then I had a little freak out episode, because I started thinking, well, what happened to all my plans before this? Like, how's that going to fit into everything? And we had talked about it before, though, like how we were going to make it work, and we were going to do it no matter what. But, you know, you get married and people have babies, and you get stuck, or you settle, or you get comfortable, or things just get more complicated. So that was my whole, like, reservation about the whole thing. I was just scared and nervous that things wouldn't happen the way that we had planned before we even knew each other. And
I think it's cool how everything was so much confirmed, in the way of, because, I mean, you know, you go through things in life and you wonder, should I do this, should I do that, I don't know.
yeah.
But everything felt so confirmed and so set. Just getting married and meeting you, and it was just all perfect timing. And again, I mean, we just always wanted the same things, and Colorado just popped up, and we weren't planning on going there now, but it just, she got a job opportunity up there, and we don't have anything really tying us down here, and so
Yeah, like, it literally came up a month after we got back from our honeymoon. And when I heard about the opportunity, I was just kind of like, it didn't even faze me really, just because we were talking about, like, really sitting down and hashing out the details of when we wanted to make things happen and how we were going to do that and all this stuff. And when the opportunity came up, I was just like, it didn't faze me. I didn't think twice about it. And then I went to meet him for lunch one day at work, and we were talking about it, and he was like, we really need to sit down and discuss things. And I was like, yeah, you know, you're right. If we're serious about our dreams and what we want to do, then we need to discuss it now. And right after I left, for some reason it popped into my head, and so I texted him, and I was like, actually, there's an opportunity for us to move to Denver, like, right now. And so I texted him that, and immediately he was like, "Are you sure about that? Because if you are, then like we need to start moving.
Well,
like
yeah,
we need to."
I think it was kind of just us playing, like jokingly saying, "Oh, that'd be so much fun. Oh, cool, let's do it." And then one thing led to another. We went back and forth, and we were like, "Okay, wait, we can actually do this.
Yeah, and then
let's
it was
go
just
for it."
happening. Yeah.
And so it was just a process of figuring out if that's what we wanted, if we could make it work, and it is.
Yeah. But perfect timing, perfect opportunity.
And it feels like
Literally
everything.
perfect timing.
It's amazing how everything feels so planned out already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we decided to do it, then things just kind of
Fell into place.
developed, and job opportunities opened up for me, and it's just amazing how
Yeah,
things
it was
work.
just God lining everything up. Like,
Pretty cool stuff.
yeah.
There's certain things that I adore. There's certain things that I ignore. But I'm certain that I'm yours. Certain that I'm yours. Certain that I'm